A lot has been happening these past few weeks, but no one expected that the Panda rapper was going to go viral for such a disturbing reason. But for real, how do you get charged with a misdemeanor for indecent exposure on an aircraft? I mean, flashing your stuff and masturbating in front of the flight attendants? Must have been really hard for them. The tea is that everyone keeps wondering what could have prompted such crude behavior from the Rapper Desiigner. Was he under the influence of alcohol or drugs? Is the rapper mentally unstable? Keep watching till the end of this video to see why Desiigner really masturbated in front of the flight attendants mid-flight. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Desiigner charged with a misdemeanor for indecent exposure. We've probably heard about many weird things done by rappers in the industry, but this is something we've never really heard before. One of the most shocking news filled the internet as the rapper Desiigner gets charged with a misdemeanor for indecent exposure while on air. The incident occurred during a flight from Japan to Minneapolis. The rapper flashed his to the flight attendants and kept on while the trip was going on. To make matters worse, he was repeatedly told to stop doing it, which he refused. Several news outlets have published news that stated that the rapper was now facing legal troubles for exposing himself on the airplane and masturbating in front of the female flight attendants during a first-class trip on the Delta Airlines international flight. Following this, the legal documents and affidavits were prepared by federal agent Charles Burnham, which was based on the interview he had with Sydney Royal Selby III, also known as the Rapper Desiigner, his security guard, and also the flight crew. The story gets irritating as we go further. I mean, according to what Charles Burnham wrote in the affidavit, it was confirmed that just 60 to 90 minutes into their flight, Selby made the first attempt to expose himself in front of the female flight attendant. Taken aback by this act, the attendant told the rapper no. After getting rejected, the rapper covered himself up. You thought that was it? I thought so too, but it seems like Rapper Desiigner wasn't thinking like us, as he was cited again by the female flight attendant and her co-worker while they were servicing the cabin. This time, Desiigner was seen exposing himself for the second time. He wasn't just exposing himself, he was also seen masturbating in broad daylight. And to make matters worse, it was in an open space. This is where it gets worse, as the rapper flashed his private parts at these ladies again, and gets rejected the second time. And according to the document, a lead flight attendant went ahead to meet the rapper and told him he would be arrested if he didn't stop exposing himself indecently. The rapper was becoming unstoppable at this point, as he exposed himself for a third time. I mean, he exposed himself 3 times to the poor female flight attendants. Not being able to contain their disappointment and anger, they told the rapper straight up that what he was doing was a federal crime, and he could be arrested for his actions. This situation would make anyone cringe, and by this time, the rapper knew he was doing too much already. So after so much back and forth between Desiigner and the lead flight attendant, the rapper took the initiative to apologize. After he apologized, he headed back to his seat. Trying to avoid something like this from happening again, the crew members instructed the Panda rapper to move to the back of the plane, hoping that his 2 friends and security guard who accompanied him on the trip would be able to monitor him. The authorities were patiently waiting for the rapper, and by the time he got to Minneapolis, he was detained by federal authorities, preparing to have an interview with agent Charles Burnham. He was soon released without any arrest, although his act was supposed to attract 90 days of imprisonment and a $500 fine. And as it stands now, the rapper has been charged in the U.S. District Court of Minnesota and will make his first appearance before a magistrate judge at a later date. I doubt if we've ever come across such disgusting behavior in the hip-hop industry before. But this being the first of its kind has got lots of people talking. I mean, they want to know what exactly caused the rapper to behave like that in public. There must be a reason, because it will be weird if there wasn't. Why Rapper Desiigner really masturbated in front of flight attendants mid-flight? After the shocking news about Rapper Designer's indecent act, the next question people needed answers to was why the rapper felt he needed to flash his to the flight attendants and masturbate on the plane. I mean, it's not a sin to masturbate, yeah, but this is something one does in the corner of their own room, trying to hide so others don't see you. But Desiigner felt the flight attendants needed to see him. This reaction needed an explanation, and the federal agent Charles Burnham was going to get it from him. Burnham asked Desiigner why he acted the way he did in an interview. This was where the Panda rapper revealed that he was aroused by the first female flight attendant. She was turning me on. Desiigner also confessed that he didn't have sex in a week due to his tight schedule. Didn't have anything in like a week. The rapper added, didn't really get much cootie while in Japan, and was brick hard, and couldn't hold himself when he got on the plane. When he was asked about his reason for repeating his actions even after he was told off, he explained that when it came to the second female flight attendant, he exposed himself again because he thought if he kept pushing something like that, would come out of it. Desiigner said, kind of showed her on the magic stick. He thought he was giving her encouragement to keep pushing, to keep striving for it. Desiigner, however, claimed that he wasn't under the influence and backed it up with a prescription medication he got from a Bangkok hospital in Thailand. A news outlet explained further that the rapper apparently got ill during his international trip and was given medications. The Panda rapper believed that those drugs were responsible for a chemical reaction, causing him to misbehave. He knew he was wrong, and he was ready to apologize. The rapper made it known to the public after posting on his Instagram a week after this shameful incident happened, saying that he had been struggling mentally for the past few months and was extremely ashamed of what he did that day. The rapper added that he would be admitting himself to a mental facility for proper check and to avoid things like this in the future. He said, "For the past few months, I have not been okay, and I have been struggling to come to terms with what is going on. While overseas for a concert I performed at, I had to be admitted into a hospital. I was not thinking clearly." The rapper added that they gave me meds and I had to hop on a plane home. "I am ashamed of my actions that happened on that plane. I landed back to the States and am admitting myself in a facility to help me. I will be canceling all shows and any obligations until further notice. Mental health is real, guys. Please pray for me. If you're not feeling like yourself, please get help." This news came as a shock to the general public, but at least they could see why he did everything he did on the plane. It explained it all. Man wasn't in the right frame of mind and couldn't think for himself. This would have been a lot to handle for the rapper with his mental health deteriorating rapidly. Desiigner had agreed to admit himself to a mental facility and get help from experts in this area. This would definitely prevent him from getting into trouble in the future. How do you think the flight attendants felt when Desiigner flashed his at them? What would you have done if you were in their shoes? Join the conversation and let us know in the comment section below. That's the end of today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more content. Also, don't forget to smash that like button and leave a comment down below. Thanks.